I think a lot of people have this thing that as long as I'm eating natural food, healthy food, I can eat as much as I want because it's healthy, like quote unquote healthy. I keep telling my friends, a proper Ugandan meal can take you a whole afternoon to make because Ugandan foods mostly are slowly cooked.
Yes.
It's like you steam it, you do this, like the traditional food. But now with the rise in like now global deliveries, people ordering food. And sometimes you find it's cheaper for you to order the food
than to
make it at home.
Yes. We are not taking enough water. I'll bring the issue of water. We are not taking enough water. 2 to 3%. We need water, like 2 to 3 liters of water every day. And then on top of that, we need to be taking fruits and vegetables.
Eat more protein. No. Wait. Cut out carbs. Avoid dairy. Count your calories. Don't count your calories. Try intermittent fasting. Like at this point, eating has started to feel like a full-time job. With nutrition trends constantly changing, it's getting harder and harder to know what exactly to eat. So today on the Cinnamon Beauty podcast, we're cutting through the noise. I'm sitting down with a certified nutritionist to tell us what exactly we are doing wrong when it comes to food. The silent dangers that are hidden in our everyday diets, why lifestyle diseases are increasing every day, and what we actually should be eating to live healthier, to look and feel better. So before you take another sip of that healthy smoothie, you might want to watch this podcast first. Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to the Cinnamon Beauty Podcast. This is a space where we recognize that beauty is so much more than what you see in the mirror. It's the resilience, the courage, and the faith we all carry inside. I'm your host, Lucky, and I'm excited for this episode. On the podcast today, I'm joined by a certified nutritionist and dietitian who is passionate about making people understand nutrition to make it simple, easy, and sustainable. So without further ado, join me in welcoming Kathleen Muthoni as she's going to take us through everything I just mentioned. Kathleen, how are you doing? Thank you so much for honoring my invitation and coming.
Thank you too for having me, Lucky. My name is Kathleen Muthoni. I'm here to have conversation and try make people understand more about nutrition, the nutrients that we are taking on our daily plates in a simple and realistic way. So let's have this conversation.
I'm so glad to have you here because I've been wanting to bring on a nutritionist for the longest time because, to be honest, when you're online, you get confused because everyone is saying, eat this. Tomorrow they're like, no, don't eat this. Oh, don't eat this. Like there's something that was really crazy that I watched recently. Someone was saying that actually cut out carbs completely. And sometimes I feel like that's unrealistic. Now, especially if you look at the African diet.
Yeah.
We eat a lot of carbs. And sometimes you ask yourself, have we been eating the wrong food all along? Because you see in Nigeria, fufu, here in Nairobi, we have ugali, all that like carbs are part of the African diet. So I just really wanted to bring on a nutritionist to tell us what we're doing wrong, what we can improve. And also, there's been a spike in so many diseases in the last few years, like diabetes. You find people have strokes and they're really young, like a 30-year-old is getting a stroke. This is happening. So I'm so glad to have you on the podcast today to kind of break down nutrition for us. Now, you told me earlier when we were having a conversation that you've been doing this for 7 years, close to 7 years, yeah? So I think you meet a lot of people in your like day-to-day, people that are struggling with their diets. Probably they're trying to eat better for their health.
Yes.
So what do you think are the most common mistakes that people make when it comes to their diet?
What we usually do when clients. We don't call them patients anymore. We call
Yeah.
them clients. Where clients come in with different myths and stories about we are supposed to be cutting down on carbohydrates. We are doing intermittent fasting and nothing is working. But what I usually advise, and it's proven that it's working, is eat all your nutrients. And that is carbohydrates, proteins, and vegetables. Eat all your nutrients, but we are watching our portion. We usually have a plate model that says a quarter of your plate should have protein, a quarter of your plate should have ugali, rice. Now that's carbohydrates, okay? And then now half of your plate should be full of vegetables. Yes. And that is how we usually advise, and it's working. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that because I've noticed that here in Nairobi, you eat a lot of sukuma,
Yeah.
sukuma, spinach,
Yes.
and things like that. And I think that's one thing I've adopted here because in Uganda, and I'm speaking to the Ugandans watching this, it's like we just sprinkle our vegetables onto our food because you'll have, okay, we eat a lot of good food with fiber, like you
Yes.
find pumpkin, yams, different. But when it comes to vegetables, it's usually a side. Actually, we call it a side dish when you go to most Ugandans restaurants because they will just, it's just a small piece of the vegetables on the side. And I think one thing I've adapted with the Kenyan culture is that you eat a big portion of
Yes,
sukuma.
half of
then,
your plate
you have
should
sukuma,
have,
then you
yeah.
have a bit of ugali, and then anything else that you want to add on there. So yeah, that's I think maybe you need to, we'll produce later, maybe in another episode, we'll produce a template for
Yes.
that plate so
Yes.
that people can have a look at what it actually looks like,
Yes.
eating more veggies and then reducing the carbs. Because quite honestly, as someone that works out, for me, when you take out carbs completely from your diet, like everyone is recommending, you don't have any energy.
Yes.
I'll be honest, like you will feel better, you will feel lighter, but you don't have any energy. And it becomes so much harder just to perform daily tasks because you feel like you are struggling. So, yeah. Okay. So, sorry about that. So you feel like you're struggling. So, yeah, it's good that you're saying that we shouldn't cut out carbs
We
because,
shouldn't.
yeah.
I'll want also to expound a little bit more about the carbohydrates. We have two forms of carbohydrates. We have the complex carbohydrates that include food from the ground, and that is yams, arrowroots, sweet potatoes, and we have the processed carbs, which we call them simple carbohydrates. So that's white rice, white bread, muffins. Those carbohydrates, if you can move to the complex carbohydrates, are highly preferable, and they provide a bulk on your plate. You'll get fuller faster. Yeah. Satiety is really high when you take the complex carbohydrates. Yes.
Okay, but now, like we've seen, the ones, the processed carbs.
Yes.
In the recent years, there's been this thing that don't eat white bread, it's too processed. So people have been opting for like sourdough bread, things like that, wheat bread, whole grain bread. So would you recommend that as well as a nutritionist that maybe, yes, it's okay, should we eat it in moderation or should we completely take out like white bread?
I will say let's completely take out the processed carbohydrates. Let's move to now the complex carbohydrates. Yes. And again, even if you're taking the complex carbohydrates in moderation, watch your portion. Even if it's the arrowroots, the yams, you cannot take a full plate of the arrowroots. Watch your portion.
No, thank you for mentioning that because I think a lot of people have this thing that as long as I'm eating natural food, healthy food, I can eat as much as I want because it's healthy, like quote unquote healthy. But thank you for mentioning that because people forget that you have to watch the portions.
Yes.
Yes, it's healthy. Yes, it's from the ground. Yes, it's not processed, but still, you have to watch the portions. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for that, because I don't know. People, especially when you look at now, I watch a lot of Nigerian movies. You find someone seated on a plate of fufu, like
Yes.
there, and like just eating it, and you're like, okay, yes, I know you like your fufu, because I also like ugali from time to time. But then I try to watch my portions because, yeah, I know, yeah.
The misconception about carbohydrates, again, people tend to assume that it's the only food that gives you energy. Protein also has some energy. So when you see that it's only carbohydrates that gives you energy, you tend to take a lot more. Yeah. Okay. But now you see, when you take a balanced diet, it will give you all of these nutrients that you need. Yeah. Portion is key.
Yeah. At least everyone has had it here. You had it here. Kathleen is saying, watch your portions, because it's not about just eating, saying, I'm eating yams, okay, arrowroot. But you don't have to eat the whole thing, like the whole bucket of yams or anything like that, or the whole saucepan of yams. And then in the last few years, there's been a spike in lifestyle diseases like diabetes, strokes. You find young people getting strokes, things like that. So what do you think, as a nutritionist, from your professional standpoint, what do you think is causing all these lifestyle diseases?
Our lifestyle. We have shifted in a lot of things, in how we are doing things, in what we are eating. It's a lot. First of all, we are moving away from our traditional foods. Yeah, we are not physically fit. You know, people from the old age, they used to walk miles and miles just to get their food, just to they used to do a lot of activities. But you see now, us, we spend the whole day at the office and then go home sitting, and then you eat immediately and sleep. That is number one. And then number two is our diet. When you look at your plate, what are you having? Yeah. So again, the cholesterol levels are becoming very high at a very small age. And these are the things that they're making those diseases, the lifestyle diseases, to go up. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because there's been a spike in that. Recently, I was watching a doctor on TikTok, and he was saying that even a 30-year-old now is getting a stroke, and yet those were diseases that you would expect in someone a lot older. Because also, there's so much access to food now.
Yes.
But what is it? Are we eating more food but not nutritious enough? Or like, are we not understanding our food well enough so that we know what to eat? Because the truth is, there's an abundance of food now.
Yes.
Different things, processed foods. Here, you go to a supermarket, you can find almost anything you need in a supermarket. You no longer have to go into the garden and then pick your stuff. So what's the problem? Is it that we have so much access to food that we are eating too much food, but not actually eating what we are supposed to, like the nutritionally? Are we eating wrong? I don't get it. Because there's more food now. People are not starving as much and stuff like that. So I don't get that.
We are taking more of the processed foods, and also how the foods are being prepared. You remember our grandparents, they used to cook food for almost 4 hours just to put it on our table. But us, what do? You go buy meat, for example, you cook it in like 30 minutes and it's on the table because, of course, time, you're getting late. And of course, things have changed. We have also things like pressure cooker, which makes cooking way easier. But then again, that is number one. Number two is also how we are balancing. How are we balancing these nutrients on our plate? You'll find yourself just eating nyama choma, and you say you just want a high protein diet. These meats and feeds that are just out here that you're supposed to take only proteins. Then you take a whole junk of proteins. You take nyama choma at night, sausages in the morning, a lot of processed foods as well. Yeah. So they're giving rise to these conditions.
No, I understand that. Because for me, I'll tell you, I keep telling my friends, a proper Ugandan meal can take you a whole afternoon to make, because Ugandan foods mostly are slowly cooked.
Yes.
It's like you steam it, you do this, like the traditional food. But now with the rise in like now global deliveries,
yes.
people ordering food, and sometimes you find it's cheaper for you to order the food
Than to
make
prepare.
it at home.
Yes.
So most people are opting for the like that. They
Yeah.
just order everything in. But then I think the problem also comes in, you don't know exactly what's in that food that you're ordering. You don't know how much oil was used,
Yes.
where did this meat come from, this food that was cooked. So I think there's been a rise in convenience.
Yeah.
And that's also it's to our detriment in a certain way, because people, like I was telling a previous guest, that people order food, it's brought to the door. They don't even have to walk out of their apartment to pick it up.
No.
It's brought to the door.
Mm-hmm.
They pick it from there. They eat it. They get it on the plate, just warm it in the microwave, eat. They sit on the TV all day, nothing. There is no movement, nothing at all. And I think it's convenient, but I think it's to our detriment, like as human beings. So yeah, I think you've kind of expounded on that, and I understand it more. Like there's not so much activity in our lives these days. It's just convenience.
Mm-hmm.
So, another thing, have we made eating too complicated? Because sometimes before, when you looked at the diets before, they were really simple. Boiled food. Sometimes you'd boil your cassava, you'd boil your yams, or you'd steam something, and then you'd have it with boiled maybe beans or something. But these days it's too complicated. Like you fry, you bread it, you put breadcrumbs, you put it in the air fryer, you do all this. Like, have we complicated nutrition that's kind of making it worse for us?
Most recipes are coming up. People are coming up with many recipes, maybe to try manage your weight, but it's the simple diets that goes a long way. Like mode of cooking really matters. The mode of cooking, we should be now getting away from these deep fried foods. Boiled arrowroots with a boiled egg. That's a complete meal, a very nutritious meal. It has carbohydrate, it has protein, and then you add maybe a fruit. You get all your nutrients that your body needs to fuel your energy for a while or even for some hours. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we've mentioned that carbohydrates is good. We shouldn't completely take out carbohydrates.
Yes.
We shouldn't over complicate our cooking.
Yes.
And I think also that comes into taste wise. A lot of people want these complicated tastes. Like you prefer something deep fried, you add all like maybe these 10 spices, and then I don't know, there's so much, you blend it, then you put it back in the thing. There's so much, it's complicated when you're on YouTube and watching cooking videos. Sometimes you're like, what am I doing in this kitchen? Like for 3 hours, you're making like the same thing. So, what is it about something about traditional cooking that you would recommend to someone that's watching, like to go back to that kind of cooking that was simpler? And what would you say about our grannies and the people before, how they made food, that you would recommend people today to go back to that kind of simpler lifestyle?
If we can go back, number one, to use our natural spices that we grow in our farms. For example, the capsicum, dania, they give food a good taste, because you see all these spices we are putting in our food, they are made of so many preservatives that we don't know about. They are high, especially in salt content, which again, too much of salt is also leading rise to hypertension. So if we can go back to use our natural spices and take time when we are preparing our meals, let's go back to taking our veggies and eat lots of vegetables. Yeah.
Okay. Talking about the preservatives that are in all these spices, there's also been a surge in supplements. People using a lot of supplements. I'm guilty of that, because I take quite a number of supplements for like omega-3. I take some probiotics. Of recent, I've started making my own probiotics. I make sauerkraut so that I can add that to my food. But do we need to take supplements? Because it's kind of becoming like a trend to take supplements? Because sometimes you're like, maybe I'm not in the sun enough. I need to take vitamin D. Maybe I'm not getting enough. So are there some foods some nutrients that we actually cannot get from a regular diet?
Everything we need in our body, we need them in their natural state. For instance, you've mentioned vitamin D. We are lucky, we usually have sun, and it can easily give us vitamin D in its natural state. Supplements are not bad because at some age, supplements depletes. For instance, calcium, they're not bad. Again, in these supplements, we have also food that gives us the supplements. Yeah. So supplements are not bad. They're highly recommendable because number one, they deplete. You'll get at some certain age, athletes lose a lot of these supplements. They need these supplements. Children sometimes also iron, you'll supplement them with iron. So supplements are good, but again, not taken in excess. They're like an icing on the cake. Yes.
Okay. Okay, because a previous guest of mine mentioned that, like you said, that yes, supplements are good, but they do not replace
Our
real
diets.
food.
Yeah.
Like the real food. So I think that's something that people need to note, because I think there's been a surge in supplements. Like if you see people on like influencers, she'll show you in the morning, these are the supplements that I'm taking. And then it's like a whole bunch of supplements. And you're like, what is, because actually for me, I take supplements, but it's not like I'm taking medication. I keep telling my partner that for me, I take every other day. Like
Yeah, it's not
like a thing that
In the
every day I
morning.
have to. No, I'm like, okay, today I'll take some. Maybe I'll skip a day and then I'll take again. So for me, I don't take it like as though it's medicine. I take it like maybe I'm lacking a little bit in this thing. Maybe I don't even know.
Yeah.
So I take. But a lot of people have resorted to replacing real food with supplements. You find there's a lot of processed food actually. It's like even bone broth. I don't know if you've noticed, there's bone broth that you can actually get in a sachet.
Yeah.
Mix it in water.
You're told you've gotten your collagen.
Yes, and they'll tell you get your collagen and stuff. But I think we need to come back to real food.
Yes.
Like boil your beef, maybe over the weekend. Boil your beef and have that soup.
Yes.
Take that broth or whatever. But everything now has been so simplified that. But also, on another end, I understand it because people are so busy. Like the busyness of life can get up, like it can catch up to you, and you really don't have the time to make all this food, slow cook beef. There's this thing, I don't know if you eat it here, but it's like the cow hooves, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
also I think very good for collagen and stuff.
Yes.
But it's like you don't have the time to slow cook something like that. So I think also the busyness of life, it gets to people, and they are not willing to spend time cooking.
Life has become very busy.
Yeah.
We are chasing. We are chasing.
We are
the
chasing
bag.
success. We are chasing the bag. Like whatever you're running.
So if you find any convenience, why not go for it?
So you would recommend it as a nutritionist that yes, it's not the best option, but if you have no choice, it's okay to.
We need the supplements, yes, but not replacing them with our usual foods, our usual diet. Another thing is there's no one supplement that can give you all the nutrients that you need in your body. So you need your food, you need your day-to-day nutrients. Yes, yeah.
And then also I wanted to touch on this. Recently, there's been a lot of surges in colon cancer, like people getting cancer of the gut and things like that. What are we eating? What is it about our diet that is affecting our gut? Like the people, sometimes you find someone, and I used to have this problem before I started fixing my eating. You'd find yourself 2 weeks, you haven't gone to the bathroom for number 2.
Yes.
You just you struggle to go for number 2. What is it about our diet that is causing that? Because there's been a surge in that, a lot of young people getting colon cancer, things like that, because of those issues with the gut. What's that about our diet?
We are not taking enough water. I'll bring the issue of water. We are not taking enough water. 2 to 3%. We need water, like 2 to 3 liters of water every day. And then on top of that, we need to be taking fruits and vegetables. Yes. Yes, especially for children, we need to. Children have that problem like all the time of not going to the bathroom. It's because we are not taking our vegetables. Yeah.
No, I agree because as I'm a culprit of that. Now, I also wanted to ask you because I struggle a lot with eating fruit because it affects my teeth. I get sensitivity. So I prefer making a smoothie or something like that instead of eating the real fruit. And yet, most nutritionists have been saying it's better to eat the real fruit because you'll get the fiber and all that. But now, there has to be an in between because to be honest, like when I eat pineapple, my teeth, like I can't eat anything else for like at least like the rest of the day. So is it bad like to take smoothies or should we do it in moderation?
You see, when you do smoothies, you're mixing 2 to 3 different kinds of fruits. There's some interaction with the nutrients that they're giving. For example, maybe if you mix some vitamin C and they're called the B vitamins, they interact and not like some hinders absorption, like vitamin C enhances the absorption of iron. You'll find yourself losing some of these nutrients while you are mixing 2 to 3 fruits. Yeah.
So they cancel each other out.
Yes. So you should be really know which ones are enhancing each other and which ones are binding each other. Yeah.
Okay.
Eat your fruits. We have variety of fruits. We have pawpaws, we have pineapples, we have watermelons. And you see, they're the ones that, again, add you water. They are full of water and they add your content of water.
No, to be honest, I'm a culprit when it comes to that because I struggle a lot with eating fruit and stuff like that. I like salty food. And I think also that's another problem because for me to choose between a salty snack and a sweet snack, I would most probably choose the salty
savory,
one.
yeah.
So I think I struggle in that area. So usually I've been doing the smoothies kind of, but then also a friend of mine was telling me, no, you have to eat the real fruit. And then recently on TikTok, I saw someone talking about what you've just mentioned now about how certain nutrients, they will cancel out the others if you mix them.
Yes.
If you mix them. Yes. So because someone was talking about actually bananas, that it's not good to mix bananas in smoothies because they cancel out most of the other nutrients.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you need to watch out for that because I think a lot of us are culprits. Like we fall in this category because it's so much easier to make a smoothie, take that, maybe pack it to work or something like that. It's easier to do that. So thank you for expounding on that because I never understood it before in that way. But do you think someone can have a full life just eating supplements and not eating real food? Can you sustain yourself that way?
It's not sustainable. Taking only supplements, it's not sustainable. You will deplete yourself of many nutrients that your body need.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, talking on that, because on this channel, we like to talk about fitness, we like to talk about keeping well and all that. So how many calories should someone be eating a day? Because we are different. I know we are all different and we have different bodies. We all react differently to different food, whatever, different exercises. So on a scale, let's look at like someone like me, a 30-year-old woman that is like my height and my weight and everything. On average, how many calories should I be eating a day? Because I think most of us, in the guise of trying to lose weight and having the perfect body, we're actually starving ourselves and not eating enough food. So what would you say on that?
The number of calories, as you've said, there is a determinant of so many things. For instance, your age, activity that you're doing on a day-to-day. We have physiological state. Of course, a pregnant lady and a 30-year-old lady won't need the same calories, okay? But on an average, we'll say 1,900 to 2,500 for both men and women, kilocalories per day.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, but now it's so hard to keep track of these
Mhm.
calories. So how would you recommend someone that is at home that doesn't have a way to measure these calories? How is that someone going to watch what they eat?
I will recommend for them to take all the nutrients that they need, again in moderation. And when I say nutrients they need, is carbohydrates, protein, and vegetables in portion control. As you've said, next time we'll create the plate model or even come with a physical plate and demonstrate how we are supposed to be taking it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of us, because we don't have this, because for me, what I do usually is I'll ask Google. I'll go
Google
and-
has become our
yeah.
doctor, all of
Yeah,
us.
ChatGPT and
Oh.
Google. Yeah, so usually I'll ask Google. I'm like, okay, these 2 muffins, I got them from this thing.
How many
Yeah, how
kilocalories?
many calories are in these 2
Yes.
muffins? So I think a lot.
Actually, I hear there are apps. You just take a photo
Yes.
and they'll tell you how many kilocalories they are.
No, it's true. There are apps. I don't have that app yet, but I've seen people use it. It's like you take a picture of the
Yes.
food, then it will tell you. But usually the thing is they're paid apps.
Oh.
They're not usually free. You have to pay for it. Usually they'll tell you, they'll kind of clickbait you into, come, let's calculate your calories, whatever. Then when you get to the point of now getting the results,
Payment
details. So yeah, it's a tricky out here. It's hard for
Yeah.
people out here. But yeah, I just wanted to know, for someone that doesn't really have access to those things like an app, they really don't have access to ways how can they monitor what they're eating. And you talked about it, which is portion control.
Yes.
Just try to control your portions. And also, like for me, I like reading. So there's the book I was reading, Ikigai. I don't know if you've read it. It's a Japanese kind of self-help book. It's really tiny. I would recommend it to anyone to read. It's very small. You can read it in 2 hours. Yeah, but it says that eat until you are 80% full. Don't eat until you are 100% full. And that's very hard because usually when something is delicious, you want to eat and eat and eat and eat. So I think, yeah, that's a good, for me, I try to eat until I'm 80% full. Like I'm full, but I could eat more.
Yeah.
I could eat more, but I stop myself. And I think that has helped also. Plus also using smaller plates. I think that's also, I think if you use smaller plates, somehow it's easier to control your portions.
Yes.
This might seem like simple things, but they help you a lot in control. Like even the cup that you take your tea in.
Yes.
If I'm taking a cup of milk tea, maybe I'm taking 4 cups in every morning of milk tea. If the cup is smaller, it's going to kind of help me control the portions I'm taking. And people don't notice things. Because for me, I'm a culprit of that. I don't take a lot of unhealthy things. But sometimes you see like coffee, I might end up taking 8 cups a day if I don't watch myself. So I have to control that.
And all those cups you put sugar?
Yes, you see, now that's the thing. So these things, it adds up. It adds up. You might think, oh, I'm taking black coffee only, but you're putting sugar.
Yeah.
And it's kind of adding up and adding up. So
and it's not the only thing you're taking that has sugar.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So I think watching the utensils also that you're using, the size of the utensils, because if your plate is almost as big as this coffee table,
you'll make sure you're making it full all the time.
Yeah, and you make sure you're making it full all the time. It's going to add up. So I think that's another thing that people need to watch out for when it comes to portion control. Because yes, I might sit here with Kathleen and tell you that quarter of your plate should have carbohydrates, quarter should have protein,
and half
and half have vegetables. But if your plate is as big as whatever, and that is going to be different. So another thing I wanted to ask you about is snacking wrong, because I think I can speak for most of us here. You find yourself snacking throughout the day. Like, what are the healthy snacks? What are the healthy snacks that we should be eating? Because you find yourself snacking. So for me, actually, my solution is I don't have very sweet snacks in my house. I don't keep those in my house.
That's just it. No, not to have those unhealthy snacks in the house. Try and have the healthy snacks like nuts.
But
Yeah.
nuts also, now they're telling us if you eat too many nuts,
Portion is everything. Portion.
Kathleen, be serious. Like, okay, can you eat 10 peanuts and feel full?
It depends. There are peanuts that are big, right?
Still, is it that big peanuts are not as good
As the small ones.
as the small
Portion.
peanuts?
You've said you have a small plate.
Hi.
It contributes to your portion. Really matters. But have the health. Snacks are good. You need snacks. You can have the yogurts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get on board.
On their natural state, not these flavored yogurts again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like Greek yogurt
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Yes.
But then also I can get on board with yogurt, I guess. But even the plain Greek yogurt, my dear. It is not easy to take that. Like I wouldn't be in my dreams and dream about having a
yes.
bowl of yogurt. It's just so
natural plain yogurt.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay, so now there's yogurt, there's nuts.
Yes.
For me recently, I started air popped popcorn because I like popcorn, but that popcorn is like eating paper. It's like you're eating a piece of paper. There's no flavor, nothing at all, but it's kind of helped me to control
your hunger,
my cravings.
Yes.
And yes, so that's the snack I have in my house usually. I'll have the air popped popcorn because everything else, to be honest, I'm not going to eat 10 because, they say with almonds, you're supposed to eat 20. And I'm like, 20? What am I eating? Yeah.
We have variety of snacks. We have dates.
And they say dates have too much sugar.
Again, portion. There's nothing that does not have sugar. But
Kathleen. Oh, God.
Yeah?
So, I don't know. It's just really, really difficult. But for me,
you can also snack on fruits.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like which fruits would you recommend?
Apples. Grapes. There is also some carrots. You can make your carrots and cucumber salad and take it. That's a very healthy snack. Yeah.
Okay.
You can even carry to work. You just chop your carrots, your cucumbers, you carry.
So if I'm eating like this on a day-to-day, is it okay if, let's say, on one Saturday evening, I eat my burger? I go and eat my cheesy burger. If I've been eating every day like this,
it's not bad to have a cheat day. Yeah, it's not bad, but make sure also in your burger there are vegetables there, right?
Yes.
And again, water.
Okay.
Yeah. Just make sure in your burger you have vegetables.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense. Because to be honest, I've tried all diets out there. But one thing I've noticed is if you are too strict with your diet and you don't have any cheat days, you don't have any days that you can eat something you like, you end up crashing. You end up
you'll fall back.
You fall off the whole thing because that food, for one day, yes, it's okay. I can snack on carrots.
Yes.
For another day, I can snack on celery, whatever. But over time, that restriction from eating the things you like, you end up crashing and you just eat everything in the house.
Now you want all of them back at the same time.
So we've grown up hearing this thing of breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So, and also there's also this thing of, I don't know if you've heard people say it, can you afford 3 square meals? Can you eat 3 meals a day? You see, it's kind of like a measure of being well off or being in a good position in life to be able to afford breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But as I've gotten older, I've realized we don't have to eat all those meals.
Yeah.
So now, as a nutritionist, how many meals should someone be eating a day? Do we have to eat breakfast, then lunch, then dinner, and have snacks in between, and have dessert and all that? Or how many meals should we be eating?
We usually say 2 to 3 meals. 2 to 3 meals. And it doesn't matter the number of meals that you are eating. It's how nutrients dense whatever you are eating is. Yeah? It doesn't matter. The number of nutrients, the number of meals you're having doesn't really matter. Because I can have a very heavy breakfast. I mean, I have baked beans, I have some boiled eggs, I have my cup of tea, I have fruits. You see, it can take me up to maybe 4 p.m., and then I just decide that I'll take early dinner stroke, late lunch, and that's my day. Yeah. So it really doesn't matter the number of meals. It's how nutrients dense your plate is. Yeah. When you have
Okay.
all the nutrients that you need and it's good heavy breakfast, you're good to go.
For the whole day.
Yeah, you're good to go. It has fuel your day. You have enough energy. And again, we've said we have also determinants of the kilocalories also and the number of meals. Yeah. Yeah. The type of work that we are doing. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's a misconception people have that, oh, I ate breakfast, but now it's lunchtime. I also have to eat
No.
lunch. Okay, you eat it. Now it's dinner time. I have to eat dinner too. I think there's that misconception that people, I have to eat at every meal.
No.
But for me, as I've gotten older, I've realized that I eat when I'm hungry.
Yes.
I don't eat just because it's lunchtime or because it's
And
this.
sometimes you're not
Yeah.
even hungry. You're just
Yeah.
thirsty. When you have your water, you just sip your water as you go. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So, what would you recommend? Recently, there's been a lot of talk of intermittent fasting. So, people skip breakfast. Sometimes you find people, they'll not eat until like lunchtime. Do you recommend those kind of measures like intermittent fasting and all that? Would you recommend those
I know
kind of?
people are doing intermittent fasting maybe to lose weight management. It helps when you don't have any underlying condition. You don't have maybe diabetes, because if you stay for long without food, your sugar levels are definitely going to go down if you have diabetes. But if you don't have any of the conditions like diabetes or hypertension, you can do IF. It works. It works. It helps you lose calories. It helps you maintain your cravings, you know? So yeah, IF is not bad.
Okay, that's good because a friend of mine as well said people need to understand why you're doing this. Like intermittent fasting is not magic. It's not some kind of magic that's going to help you lose weight.
Yes.
But what I think it does, it keeps the hours that you're eating for less. Like it's less.
Yes.
So you're eating in a short period of
Yes.
time. So the chances of you overeating reduce significantly. So you
Yes.
can't eat as much in, let's say, 6 hours as
Yes.
you would eat in 24 hours or like 8 hours or more. So I think that's the thing that people need to understand about intermittent fasting. It's not that it's that intermittent fasting. It's just that it's limiting
Your
how long
number,
you can
yeah.
So I think it helps you control the intake of the calories. That's
Yes.
true? I'm explaining it well.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so what's the best time for someone to eat? If someone, okay, now you see, if I didn't eat all day, maybe I came back home very late and I ate at night, even though I haven't exceeded my calorie intake, but I'm eating late in the night closer to my bedtime. Instead of someone, let's say, that eats those same calories, but maybe
Splitted them during the day.
split them during the day. What is wrong with the way that I ate?
See, we have different time schedules. We have different work conditions. As you've said about the day-to-day activities. So sometimes you might find yourself, it's already 9 p.m., you've not eaten, you sleep at that 9 p.m. But I'll say this, don't eat immediately and go to bed. Yes, don't
Explain
eat.
a bit more why not?
You see, when you take a whole complete meal at night, there's no activity that you're doing. So digestion will not take place. So give yourself time, close to maybe 30 minutes and 1 hour for food to at least start digesting, unlike when you go to bed immediately. Yeah.
Okay. So what you're saying is the time you eat doesn't really matter.
The time you eat doesn't matter. Because now you won't stay the whole day without food and then now get to the house and just sleep because your time of eating has already passed. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, but okay, if you're going to eat before bed, it's usually advisable at least to wait.
Yes.
Maybe.
Don't eat immediately and go to sleep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So now on this podcast, it's called Cinnamon Beauty. We like to take care of our appearance, as you can see. We like to take care of our appearance. So how does food affect our skin? Because sometimes you find people are struggling with a lot of skin issues, maybe acne, all that. And like, how does the diets that we're having, how do they affect our skin?
For instance, when you don't hydrate, our skin needs a lot of water because we lose also water through our skin, sweating. So we need to hydrate again, and lots of vegetables because they're rich in zinc, they're rich in vitamin E. We need a lot of fruits which are rich in vitamin C, which helps also with the skin. So yeah, diet and skin goes hand in hand. Yeah. If you
Yeah,
just
because a
eat
lot of people, they've been like, when I was younger, I struggled so much with my skin. And people would tell you, oh, you're not eating the right things, or you're eating too much of
oily,
oily things and all that. And one thing I'll say, I'll say to that is that yes, I think diet plays a role, but I have to believe that sometimes it's other factors.
we have hormones.
Yeah, hormones and
Yeah.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
or hereditary things, something, because sometimes you want to blame someone that, oh, you're not eating well, you're not eating the right food, but sometimes it's beyond their
Yeah.
control. But I think the first step someone can take in fixing their skin or whatever is, are you eating well?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're eating well, hydrating, like
Yes.
you said hydration, you're just eating the right food,
Yes.
vegetables, I think.
Fruits.
Yeah, fruits. If
Yeah.
you're eating well and your skin is not clearing, then you can now say, okay, I've done my part. Now I need to take another step,
Yes.
maybe see a dermatologist or something like that. So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because, as you know, this podcast of ours is about, yes, we are not focusing on outer beauty, but
Yes.
having yourself look good is a plus, is a
Yeah.
bonus. So, what does a healthy day of eating, if you were my nutritionist and I came to you, what would a healthy day of eating look like for me? Like starting from morning.
breakfast, lunch, and maybe snack in between.
Mhm.
I'll just make sure that your food has what I've said, half carbohydrates, half of your plate should be vegetables.
For all the meals.
Yes, for all the meals.
Hey.
That's why I'm saying, you see, if we do that for all the meals, 3 meals or more. Yeah, you won't finish all the 3 meals. And in between, maybe you get your nuts. You're saying you want more, you will not even finish those nuts. So yeah, you have to make sure that every meal, even your breakfast. Yeah.
Then also there's this thing, like, I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I try to take a lot of water to kind of curb my cravings, like so that I don't eat as much as I would eat. Is that something that you'd recommend for people to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just our mind. You can be very thirsty and your mind says you're hungry. Once you take water, you are good.
Okay.
You're good to go for the day. Yeah.
Okay, and then there's also this thing, with the cost of living, it's becoming incredibly difficult to eat healthy, because if you look closely online,
Yeah.
unhealthy food is cheaper than healthy food, because getting yourself a cabbage, a big cabbage, and then maybe you have this ugali. Okay, ugali is not that healthy, but let's say the vegetables and all that. It's getting incredibly difficult to eat healthy. So, how can someone eat healthy on a diet? How would you, someone that's going to say, this podcast is talking about nonsense. Me, I can't afford even that 300 to get myself this, and you're telling me that I have to eat all these bougie
Healthy
things.
meals don't have to be expensive. Healthy meals don't have to be expensive. We have sources of proteins. We have omena. Do you know omena?
Yes.
Yes, readily available. We have eggs. Those are sources of protein. When we say protein, people just think maybe we are just saying of chicken and meat. No, we have readily available, yeah, and affordable in the society, in our communities, yeah. Sources of carbohydrates, they're there. So eating healthy doesn't have to be expensive. And then what helps again with eating healthy is planning. If you can plan your meals, it becomes very, very affordable. Yeah. You at lunch, you've carried your own food from home. You won't buy food. You've planned your meals. You'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay. Glad you mentioned omena. There's this influencer that's saying that she doesn't eat omena or whatever, things like that. But I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I'm not so big on omena or silverfish, but I have no problem with eating it. It's the only problem I have is the smell, especially when you're making it. the whole house, it's another story. The whole house gets filled with that smell. But apart from that, I actually like the taste. I
Yeah.
like to mix it in different foods. Let's
Yeah.
say I'm making vegetables, I can mix omena. Maybe Ugandans, we like peanut stew. When I'm
Ah.
making the peanut stew, I can mix omena. So I don't know what the hate, like the hate is against it, to be honest. But for me, I like it. Sometimes you can mix it in cabbage and eat it
Yes.
with your rice or something like
And
that.
it is so rich with so many nutrients. Omega-3, calcium, protein, all in one. So omena is
It's
good.
good, and you don't have to struggle. People call it baby sharks. Baby sharks, like I'm making baby sharks, I'm doing
Yeah.
this. But I don't know why people have a problem with it. But for me, I've never had a problem with silverfish or mena.
Yeah.
In Uganda, we call it mukene.
Ah.
Yeah. So people have a lot of like it's bad thing. It's like it's a sign of poverty. How am I eating this thing? Is food for the animals and all that, and people just don't like it. But for us, we grew up, we would make it as a snack. You'd fry it and just eat
Yes.
it as a snack, or you could mix it in food. So for me, I've never had a problem with omena, and as long as it's making me healthy and stay looking good, trust me,
We
I'm
go
on
for
that.
it.
I'm on that train. I'm on that. The crazy things I've done to eat healthy,
Yeah.
I try everything. At least everything, I'll try it once. So if you tell me that omena is going to make me healthier,
Why
I'm
not?
definitely going to get on that
Yeah.
train.
Yeah.
So you've said eating healthy does not have to be expensive.
No.
And yeah, I think that's true. A lot of people have that misconception that, oh, I have to eat the whole chicken, or I have to eat meat, or I have to eat. But even I think in, how do I say, plant-based,
Yes.
like there's lentils, I think.
Yes.
Lentils, there's beans.
Yes.
I don't know, a lot of things, but I think people have a bad, they think it's not, I am better than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to eat that. I can eat. So I think, yeah, I think it's good that you've mentioned that. Yeah. What's one simple change that people can make in their diets today? Like something that you've noticed a lot in your clients that people do on a day-to-day without actually realizing that they're doing anything wrong, but something that they could just change that would make their diets better.
Make sure every food you take, let it have vegetables. Let it have vegetables. That's a game changer.
So is vegetables like the superfood you're telling us?
Mboga. Mboga is good.
So even if I didn't eat everything else and I ate vegetables, am I?
You have to balance your nutrients.
Okay.
You have to.
Oh. No, because I was going to
say you will take
I'll
vegetables
eat only
alone.
vegetables. No, because my dear, after a certain age, keeping this weight off becomes, oh my God, it becomes so difficult.
Yes.
It becomes, because sometimes I remember my 18-year-old body, 20-year-old body. Like I never even struggled like gym. What is gym? Like what is eating healthy, dieting and all that? I actually used to make fun of people that would diet and then you're in the gym doing what? Doing what? Like, so I think, yeah, the older you get, it gets harder to keep the weight off. So whenever you hear something that maybe will help you lose weight or keep the weight off, usually
go for
yeah,
it.
but what I'm hearing in our conversation is that balance. You need to balance because I've noticed sometimes you find someone, they look really healthy, they're in the right shape, they're not fat or anything like that, they don't have a lot of weight, but they're so weak, they're unhealthy. It's like they can't even stay 2 weeks without going to the hospital, maybe to get some cannulas. You find a lot of people with all these, they're getting, I think, nutrients in the IV drips or whatever and all that. And you're like, why is someone suffering like this when they could actually be eating their way to health? Because actually the theme of this episode is eating our way to health. Because I think most people don't understand that we are killing ourselves by what we are eating. Because most of these diseases can be, at least at a certain level, in the beginning stages of that disease, it could be controlled by the food that you're eating. It could be avoided by eating the right food, by eating the right nutrients. But sometimes people don't focus on that. They're just eating anything.
Yeah.
Then you get a health complication. You go to the hospital. They treat you for those symptoms. You come back. You continue
Eating
eating.
the same.
Yeah. Because actually, I like to talk about my friend. When I was living in Dubai, I had a friend of mine. She's an older lady.
Mhm.
She was diagnosed with cancer, and she refused chemo, and she was eating food to treat her cancer, and it was actually working, like
Yes.
to a certain extent.
Food is medicine, yes.
So I think people forget that, yes, you want to do all these bougie things. You find these people going for these ladies these days. You've seen ladies going for the IV trips, drips to get nutrients,
skin.
vitamin C, good skin. But you can actually get that in the food that
Yes.
you're eating. And people, I think, are not taking that as seriously as they should be. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. This conversation is getting me thinking. It has had me thinking, because I think most of us, food is underrated. I think for most people, food has been underrated, complicated, overcomplicated. Now you find, I've noticed, like Nigerians, you find like they make one dish of food and it has all these proteins inside, like different kinds of proteins. What would you say on that? Because you find, I've had some Nigerian friends, they make a pot of soup. It has meat, it has chicken, it has fish, everything in one pot. And then they mix vegetables, and then they mix, I think it's melon seeds and all that. Doesn't that cancel itself out? Like, what is, okay.
The combination.
Yeah, the combination doesn't affect the food in any way.
The combination really matters, and we have to be sure what we are mixing together. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I've noticed that, and when I was younger, it's actually tasty, because I've been to Nigeria and I've tasted this food. It's really tasty, but sometimes I ask myself, is it okay to mix all those proteins together? Does, like, it doesn't affect the food? Or
it does. It's the same way, like here we have people, we cook rice and potatoes. We are only getting one form of nutrients, and that's carbohydrates. So yeah, we need to balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go to the fun part of this podcast that I like. It's called the rapid fire. So I'm going to ask you, just think about the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't overthink it. Just tell me the first thing you think about. What's the most overrated healthy food in your opinion?
Githeri.
I don't know. You see, my mom likes that. There is a mixture of, I think,
beans and
beans.
maize.
But for me, God, like it's like you're in prison. I don't know. But some people like this food. They like the githeri. And okay, once in a while, yes, I will have githeri. But in my opinion, I would rather have ugali and beans than have githeri. So yeah. And what is the most underrated food in your opinion as a nutritionist?
You promise you won't laugh.
I won't.
Omena.
Why would I laugh? I told you I'm a poster child for omena. Like, I like omena, so I wouldn't. Why would I? Why would I make fun of you for this?
And I love omena too. I love omena.
How do you usually make your omena?
I like them deep fried. Yes.
But now as a nutritionist, isn't deep
Not
frying?
deep frying them in cooking oil. No, not like that. I just make sure it doesn't have soup. And then my vegetables.
So you stir fry them?
Yes. Not deep frying them like how we deep fry fries. No.
Okay.
Yeah, stir fry them vizuri, no soup. And then my skuma and spinach, and then ugali.
Now, one thing I've noticed about
And then
Kenyans
avocado.
here, you guys here, you don't eat a lot of soup. You don't have a lot of soup in your food.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very dry. That's the thing, because I'm like, what is this? What am I? Because sometimes I struggle with that. I used to struggle with that in the beginning. Like, your food is so dry. Like, there's no soup. You find someone, they eat their ugali with a little bit of the soup in the sukuma. Like, they just stuff in the sukuma. And I'm like, okay. Because Ugandans were really big on
You have
stews and broth and stuff like that. So, yeah. But yeah, that's interesting to know. But okay, before, this is the rapid fire. My God. What do you do about the stones in the omena?
You make sure where you get them.
Because that's a problem I think I've seen a lot in omena. Like, if you don't make it well,
You'll
Is there a
have
lot of like stones in there?
it starts from the marketplace. You make sure they are good, and then now you put them in hot water before now you start making them. Yeah.
You put them in hot water, scoop them out, and
Yes,
then cook
yes,
them.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Dairy. There's been this talk online about dairy, eating dairy, not eating dairy. So as a nutritionist, is dairy a yes or no?
Yes.
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 Okay.
And a big yes. Because again, it has like all the nutrients. It has calcium, it has protein. Dairy is good. Yeah.
Okay. 3 meals or 5 meals a day?
3 meals.
Skip breakfast, yes or no?
No.
Okay. Supplements necessary or not?
They're not necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when necessary, okay,
Yes.
when necessary.
When necessary, go for it.
Okay.
Yes.
So before we come to the close, I wanted you to give us your closing remarks. Just what's one food habit that people can change immediately? Like that doesn't need them to think so much, to change a lot about their lifestyle and all that. What's one food habit that people can change immediately today?
Incorporate every meal that you take with vegetables. Vegetables. And of course, it won't happen overnight. Slowly by slowly, you will adapt. And yeah, but vegetables are essential.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And all vegetables,
Yes, all vegetables.
There's no like one vegetable that is better than.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for coming on the podcast, for talking to us about nutrition, because I think it's a very essential part of our lifestyles, of our health, of us looking and feeling better. And I think a lot of people do not give it the importance that it needs, because a lot of people you find someone, they eat noodles like every day of the week. They're eating indomie. They mix it with eggs. They don't care so much about what they're eating, and I also can't blame them completely, because it's the lifestyle, the busyness of life. Sometimes your kids, that's what they want to eat, so you end up also eating that because that's what they're eating. Noodles, me I want noodles, and because life is so hard also, you just don't care so much about what you're eating. But I thank you so much for coming on the podcast,
Thank you
taking
for
us
having me.
through taking us through nutrition, because I think it's an essential part of our lives, and people don't take it as seriously as they need to. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for having me. Call me again and again. Nutrition is wide. We've dealt with a part. Call me again, and thank you for having
And
me.
if someone wanted to get your services, where can they find you? Where can they find you so that they can talk to you about nutrition, maybe for you curating a diet for them?
On Instagram as Kate the Nutritionist.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Great. I'm glad to have you on. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure for me, and thank you for honoring my invitation.
Thank you.
Yeah. As we always say here on the Cinnamon Beauty podcast, that if this episode helped you in any way, if you felt moved in any part of this conversation, and you feel someone else needs to hear this conversation, please share it with them. And if you haven't subscribed to this podcast, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Please subscribe, share, and subscribe to our podcast. It lets us know that you like the conversations that we're bringing on, the people that we are bringing on the podcast, and it will help us improve every day to bring you better content. As I always say, I'm sending you my love and endless blessings. Stay fabulous.